3 days later, Commander Zara stood on the newly constructed observation platform watching human engineering teams put the finishing touches on the atmospheric processing plant. What should have taken months had been completed in 72 hours. The air already smelled cleaner. "Impressive work," said Captain Thorne, the Coalition military liaison who had arrived that morning. His expression was skeptical as he studied the human operations. "Though, I have to question the wisdom of revealing yourselves now." Admiral Chen. Admiral Chen stood beside them, watching her people work with quiet pride. "The time for hiding is over, Captain. The galaxy is changing, and we can't sit in the shadows anymore, while good people suffer." "But you've maintained complete isolation for 3 millennia, Thorne pressed. "Why break that now?" Chen was quiet for a long moment. Then she tapped her communication device. "Colonel Park, please join us on the observation deck." Colonel James Park arrived within minutes, a tall human with silver-gray hair and eyes that held the weight of many years. He moved with the careful precision of someone who had seen too much combat. "Captain Thorne, this is Colonel Park, our Chief Intelligence Officer," Chen said. "James, please show the captain what we've been monitoring." Park activated a portable holographic display. The image showed a 3-dimensional map of the galaxy. But this one was far more detailed than anything Zara had seen before. It showed fleet movements, resource flows, political tensions, and something else. Dark red zones spreading like cancer across entire sectors. "For the past 50 years, Park began, we've been watching the galaxy tear itself apart. The Dark Imperium is just one threat. The Vex hegemony in the Outer Rim has enslaved 47 species. The Machine Collective in the Northern Spiral is converting organic life into raw materials. Everywhere we look, we see the same pattern. The strong preying on the weak," Thorne said quietly. "More than that," Park continued. "We've identified at least 12 major powers that have abandoned any pretense of civilization. They see other species as resources to be consumed. And they're winning." Zara studied the map with growing horror. So much red, so many worlds under threat, or already fallen. "We kept telling ourselves it wasn't our responsibility," Chen said. "That we had earned our peace, and shouldn't risk it for strangers. But 18 months ago, something happened that changed everything." The hologram shifted to show a single star system. A blue-green world orbited peacefully around a yellow star. "This is Harmony Station," Chen explained. "A refugee settlement established by the Alarian people after their homeworld was destroyed by the Machine Collective. 5 million civilians. Mostly children and elderly. They had no weapons, no military, no strategic value. They were just people trying to survive." The image changed to show wreckage floating in space. "The Collective found them 3 weeks ago," Park said, his voice heavy with grief. "When we arrived to investigate, there were no survivors. They had been processed into raw materials for machine construction." Silence fell over the observation deck. Even Captain Thorne looked shaken. 5 million people," Chen whispered. "Gone. Because no one was willing to help them. Because everyone was too busy protecting their own interests." "That's when you decided to reveal yourselves?" Zara asked. "That's when we realized that hiding had made us complicit," Chen replied. "Every world that falls while we have the power to help makes us responsible for the suffering." Park brought up another display, this one showing ship designs and technology specifications that made Zara's breath catch. "Our isolation wasn't entirely selfish," he explained. "We spent 3,000 years preparing for the day we might need to defend not just ourselves, but everyone who couldn't defend themselves." The ships shown in the hologram were unlike anything in the galactic databases. Sleek, efficient, but clearly built for war. The weapons specifications made Coalition destroyers look like children's toys. "How many ships do you have?" Thorne asked, his voice tight. "Enough," Chen said simply. "But numbers aren't what matters. What matters is that we designed our entire civilization around one principle. No one fights alone." "Show him the real fleet numbers, James," Chen said after a moment. Park's fingers moved across the display. New markers appeared throughout the galaxy. Hundreds of them. Thousands. We've been building for a very long time, Park admitted. Every human settlement, every station, every colony ship doubles as a military asset when needed. We have over 8,000 combat vessels ready for immediate deployment. Captain Thorne staggered slightly. 8,000? The entire coalition navy has maybe 1,200 active ships, and every one of our ships has a crew that's been training for combat operations since they could walk, Chen added. We may have hidden from the galaxy, but we never forgot the lessons of war. Dr. Torres approached the group, her medical scanner showing readings from the local population. Admiral, the psychological evaluations are complete. The Kalanri civilians are showing remarkable resilience, no signs of long-term trauma, despite the siege. That's because they had hope, Chen observed. The knowledge that help was coming, that they weren't abandoned. That changes everything. Speaking of which, Park said, we've received confirmation that 17 species have formally requested membership in the Terran Alliance. Word of what happened here is spreading fast, Chen nodded. The galaxy is tired of being afraid. They just needed to see that standing together was possible. A new voice joined the conversation as Master Sergeant Rodriguez climbed up to the platform. Admiral, we've completed the defense grid installation. This world is now protected by the same systems that guard Earth. Defense grid? Zara asked. Rodriguez grinned. Automated weapons platforms in the asteroid belt, sensor networks throughout the system, and rapid response beacons that'll bring help within hours if anyone tries to attack again. The Darok won't catch you unprepared twice. But this level of technology, Thorne protested. The amount of resources, the coordination required. How have you managed to stay hidden? Chen looked out at the valley where human and Kalanri children were playing together in the clean air. Because we learned something that most of the galaxy has forgotten, Captain. Real strength doesn't come from having the biggest weapons or the largest armies. It comes from having something worth protecting and people willing to protect it. The Darek think strength is about taking what you want by force, Park added. The Machine Collective thinks it's about efficiency and logic. The Vex believe it's about control and dominance. What do humans think it is? Zara asked. Showing up when people need help, Chen said simply. Even when it's dangerous. Even when you gain nothing from it. Especially then. A communication chime interrupted the conversation. The holographic display shifted to show Admiral Chen's flagship in orbit. Admiral, this is Commander Harrison aboard the Defiance. We're receiving priority messages from 17 different systems, all requesting immediate assistance against various hostile forces. Chen studied the requests for a moment. James, how many battle groups can we deploy immediately? 6 full battle groups, plus rapid response units, Park replied. We can have help en route to all 17 systems within 6 hours. Do it, Chen ordered. And send word to our new alliance partners. It's time for them to see what working together really means. As the day turned to evening, Zara found herself in the Human Command Center watching the coordinated response unfold. Ships were moving across the galaxy like pieces on a vast chessboard. But this wasn't conquest or expansion. This was rescue. Commander, Admiral Chen said, approaching with a datapad. I have an offer for you. What kind of offer? Your people have shown incredible courage and resilience. You held out for 6 days against impossible odds. That's exactly the kind of spirit the Alliance needs. Chen paused. How would you feel about commanding a Kalanri squadron in the Alliance fleet? Zara's hands trembled as she took the datapad. It showed ship specifications for vessels more advanced than anything she had ever imagined. Fast, powerful, designed for both combat and humanitarian operations. You want us to be more than just a protected world? She asked. We want you to be partners, Chen replied. To help us answer the next distress call. And the one after that. Until no one in this galaxy has to face the darkness alone. Zara looked around the command center. Human officers worked alongside Kalanri engineers. Coalition observers shared data with Alliance intelligence. Species that had never met before were finding common ground in their shared commitment to protecting the innocent. "Admiral, there's something I need to know," Zara said. "What happens when the big powers decide you're a threat? When they unite against the Alliance?" Chen's smile was sharp as a blade. "Then they'll learn something about humans that we hoped they'd never have to discover. We've spent 3,000 years learning how to fight together, how to coordinate across vast distances, how to turn every world we protect into a fortress that protects others. You're not just building an alliance," Zara realized. "You're building a new kind of civilization, one where the strong protect the weak instead of preying on them," Chen confirmed. "One where calling for help guarantees that help will come, no matter how far away, no matter how dangerous." That night, as Zara watched the last human shuttle prepare for departure, she felt something she hadn't experienced in years. Not just hope, but certainty. The galaxy was changing. The age of hiding in fear was ending. In the distance, the lights of the new atmospheric processor painted the sky in gentle colors. Children played in clean air, while their parents looked up at stars that no longer seemed cold and distant. The humans had kept their promise. They had arrived when everyone thought no one would come. They had fought when fighting seemed hopeless. And they had shown that the strongest force in the universe wasn't hatred or fear or conquest. It was people helping people, no matter what. Commander Zara activated her new Alliance communicator and heard the voices of dozens of species across the galaxy. All of them ready to answer the next call for help. All of them knowing that they would never stand alone again. The stars had never looked brighter.